and that police are gaining the upper hand. That's according to Police Minister Nathi Mthethwa, who released the 2010-2011 statistics in Pretoria today. Mthethwa says the number of attempted murder, robbery and car hijacking cases has dropped. All forms of violent crime decreased by 7%. But a number of problem areas remain. Drug-related crimes are on the rise, and there's been a steep increase in ATM bombings. Melanie Moses reports.
Mthethwa says the ministry has acknowledged that the training of police officers has to be ongoing and relevant. He says victory against crime is an achievable goal, adding that no one can rest while young children are still under the bondage of crime and drugs for as long as businesses are robbed and women raped and abused. Just over 2 million cases of serious crime were registered in South Africa over the past year, a slight drop from the previous year. But the figures are still chilling. Close to 16,000 people were killed and 66,000 cases of sexual offences were opened. The minister has given the undertaking that his department will work even harder to make sure criminals are put behind bars. Melanie Moses, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Crime fighting got a shot in the arm following Cabinet's approval of funds totaling 250 million rand to specific law enforcement agencies and government departments working with victims of crime. This came out at the post-cabinet briefing in Pretoria today. Some government departments and law enforcement agencies that will receive the funds include Justice and Constitutional Development, Social Development, Correctional Services, the South African Police Services and the National Prosecuting Authority. Cabinet also approved that the properties and assets that include motor vehicles and equipment forfeited to the state be allocated to the SAPS. The ANC in Limpopo has won all the 8 ward by-elections held in the Mopani and Sekhukhune districts. The parties that were contesting were ANC, COPE, APC, PAC and one independent candidate. The Commission's head, Nkaro Mateta, says the ruling party was mainly contesting with COPE in Ward 28 of the Greater Giyani municipality. The by-elections were conducted as a result of the resignation of a majority of ANC councillors and the passing on of others. Mateta explains.
All the 8 wards in Limpopo were won by the African National Congress. The percentages range from 49% to 97%. The margin in some of the municipality was not that wide. Greater Giyani, ward number 28, we had the ANC winning by 53%, while COPE 46%.
Police are maintaining a heavy presence in and around Tembelihle informal settlement south of Johannesburg following days of violent protests over poor service delivery. Groups of people are still roaming the streets, but no violence has been reported so far. Earlier in the week, an 11-year-old boy was injured when police and community members clashed. The community will hold a meeting later today to decide whether to continue with the protest action. Meanwhile, 14 people who were arrested appeared at Protea Magistrates Court yesterday, and their case has been postponed to tomorrow. Families of 11 people who died in an accident involving a minibus and a truck between Ochis and Kriel in Mpumalanga yesterday visited Bethel mortuary to identify their loved ones. It's alleged that the truck failed to stop at a stop sign and collided with the minibus. 13 seriously injured people were hospitalized at Life Cosmos Hospital in Witbank. Provincial traffic spokesperson Mahashi Mtsweni says the cause of the accident is still unknown.
The minibus had a valid license which expires on the 31st of March 2012, and the investigation on the side of the police is still continuing, and it will take some time before we can be given an indication as to really what was the cause of the accident.
And finally, promoters and potential competition entrants have been warned to be careful when competitions are linked to the Rugby World Cup, which gets underway in New Zealand tomorrow. Nishan Singh, Senior Associate at Adams & Adams Attorneys, the company that represented FIFA during the Soccer World Cup last year, says that even using the trademarked logo or the phrase could land competition organizers in hot water.
The Rugby World Cup 2011, that is actually a registered trademark. Only the proprietor of a registered trademark is authorized to use the trademark. If you use it in the context that you suggest that you are a sponsor of of the event, the Rugby World Cup. That'll amount to ambush marketing. Now, ambush marketing occurs when a trader tries to utilize the publicity value of a sponsored event. You need to be careful about the way in which you use a trademark.
Recapping the top story, the latest crime statistics confirm that the tide against crime is turning and that police are gaining the upper hand.